I cannot imagine the burden a leader like Khotun Khan must bear. In an act of utter barbarity, the ghost poisoned the Khan's men at Castle Shimura. Far from deterring the Khan, the act spurred him to develop these poisons for his own use. He tells me this is one of the secrets of the Empire's success, embracing rather than rejecting or dominating the might and knowledge of their antagonists. Good evening, fellow funguys and fungals, and welcome to the Ghost of Tsushima. This is one of my, I don't want to say a top number, but one of my all-time favorite games. And recently I realized that there must be some interesting reading material to be found in this game. And there is, in the form of records, 40 to be precise, which are described as personal accounts, poems, and messages written by the people of Tsushima, documenting life during the Mongol invasion, found all over the island in towns, settlements, shrines, Mongol camps, and many other places. As in the recent Witcher reading video, I will put some normal free roam gameplay over top of this, just because it's, I think, a bit more interesting to watch than just the text that I'm reading. So let's get right into it. Looks like these are in an order that makes sense, not in the order in which I found them, which is helpful. But this is the first entry from 11 records, conversations with the Khan. This is number 1. What can a simple monk like me hope to accomplish by recording my conversations with Khotun Khan? My aim is to document his words and deeds, in order to counter the natural suspicions of the people of Tsushima, foster mutual understanding, and thereby prevent more bloodshed. The Khan has been most receptive to these talks, and surprisingly frank on a range of matters, though I am a mere translator, and Japanese to boot. His ambition is boundless as any shogun's, and he has a keen sense of history and his place in it. At the same time, he is eager to learn more about our culture and history. Such an intriguing man. Second, conversations with the Khan. Tonight, while we sampled a variety of fine sakes, Khotun Khan shared his insights into Tsushima's politics and history. We discussed at length the internal rivalries of the Nagaos, tensions between the Adachi and Kikuchi, and the reasons for Shimura's victory over Yarikawa, as if he's lived among us for decades. Later he confided his personal stake here. After the conquest of Goryeo, Khotun has been entrusted by Kublai Khan by subduing Japan. If he is successful, it will make his name, and allow him to vie for the title of Great Khan himself. I did not dare to ask him if he meant to overthrow his cousin Kublai, but I believe that was his insinuation. Number 3. A very interesting week. Khotun Khan is holding Lord Shimura captive at Castle Kaneda. He confided that the former Jito is more valuable to him alive than dead. In fact, Khotun plans to make him an offer. Through spies and informants, Khotun knows Shimura's ambitions reach beyond Tsushima, and he also knows Shimura's wife and sons died prematurely and tragically, so he lacks an heir. Khotun's offer: join the Mongol cause, and Shimura will be made shogun to rule as Khotun's right-hand man, and, along with Goryeo, aid Khotun in overthrowing Kublai. Any man who would stand in the way of Khotun Khan is a fool, and from what I hear, Shimura is many things, but not that. Number 4. Lately, Khotun Khan has spoken often of home, a lifelong eagle hunter before departing for the Goryeo campaign. He released his favorite golden eagle, which he nicknamed Little Brother. Then our talk turned once more to politics. The empire is driven by family and tribal clashes, much like our competing clans here. He told me a battle for succession broke out after Genghis Khan's death. About 10 years ago, Kublai Khan emerged the victor, but it is by no means assured he will remain so. Khotun feels the great mistake of Kublai's rivals is a too rigid adherence to the old ways of the steppes, which he compares to what he sees as Lord Shimura's over-reliance on the traditions of the samurai. Number 5. Today was terrible. Khotun burst into his quarters in a rage and shattered a rather exquisite table that came from a land called Kashumiro. I write this casually now, but I was truly terrified and convinced death was at hand. These are people who drink horse blood after all. After some time, I was able to calm Khotun down enough to tease out the source of his ire. Lord Shimura refused his offer of alliance. It's clear that Khotun does not regard Shimura's cooperation as crucial to his design for the mainland, but he is not accustomed to being denied. Lord Shimura's spine must be made of katana steel to say no to this man. Number 6. Khotun appears to have put the events of Castle Kaneda and the liberation of Lord Shimura behind him, partly because he holds Castle Shimura, which is strategically more important to maintain control of the island. It also shields his forces in the north, who carry out orders so secret that I have not been able to discover what they might be, and I think it gives Khotun pleasure to defile the seat of the Shimura clan's power. In any event, Khotun seems confident that his enemies will exhaust themselves fighting amongst each other and the Mongols. All he needs to do is stock up on food, supplies, and munitions, and depart for the mainland when the time is right. Number 7. All Khotun Khan wants to talk about is this ghost. Apparently, Lord Shimura's nephew has half the island believing he is some kind of vengeful samurai spirit, returned from the dead to stop the Mongol invasion. Ridiculous. The young man is an upstart supported by a band of sad misfits, if the rumors are to be believed. But Jin Sakai daily occupies Khotun's thoughts, far more than is warranted, in my opinion. Khotun sees an opportunity to divide the people, who seem to adore the ghost, from Lord Shimura and the other samurai. I have no doubt he can and will exploit this to his advantage. Number 8. Khotun senses a potential rift forming between the ghost and Lord Shimura. While I express doubts, he assured me the Empire has had a long experience with such proud warriors. He said to me, "Daizo, there is nothing easier than to prey upon the vanity of ambitious men. People say my grandfather, Genghis Khan, conquered the world because his armies were stronger, faster, and more ruthless than those who opposed him. Nonsense. Ruthless men make war everywhere. Genghis knew how to befriend enemies and turn his enemies against one another. That is what Lord Shimura and his nephew do not grasp yet, but I will teach them. May Kanon grant mercy to anyone who opposes this man." Number 9. I cannot imagine the burden a leader like Khotun Khan must bear. In an act of utter barbarity, the ghost poisoned the Khan's men at Castle Shimura. Far from deterring the Khan, the act spurred him to develop these poisons for his own use. He tells me this is one of the secrets of the Empire's success. Embracing rather than rejecting or dominating the might and knowledge of their antagonists. Then yesterday I saw what he had done to the people of Kin. I don't know that I'll ever recover from that sight. I don't know what I think of Khotun. Perhaps great men share all the aspects of their lessers, but more. Great wisdom, but even greater cruelty. Number 10. Soon the Mongol fleet will sail for the mainland. Khotun knows of the Oga clan samurai sent to bolster Lord Shimura, but he is confident they have neither the strength nor the numbers to alter his plans. For him, Tsushima is simply a place to resupply and prepare the invasion of the mainland. Accordingly, his attention turns more and more to mainland Japan. I did not have to explain to him the divisions between the emperor's court at Kyoto and the seat of the shogunate, nor the power of those who rule without official titles. In fact, he drew a comparison to his own people, where East and West have split as a consequence of Kublai coming to power in China, opposed by his own brother. And the last one, number 11. And now disaster, a waking nightmare. The ghost and his band of misfits and illiterate farmers have somehow thwarted the greatest empire in history, and the greatest man I have ever known, Khotun Khan. I am a fool. I dreamed of living on 2nd Street in Kyoto, mere steps from the palace, where Khotun and I would sample the endless delights of the court, and I would fill his brilliant mind with the intellectual and artistic treasures of our culture. But no. Truly, the proud do not last, and the mightiest of us perish like dust before the wind. Okay, next are a bunch of singular records. The first one is "Meet us in Umugi Cove." Brother, I asked Taro to run day and night to you with his message. Leave while you can. Komoda town is ash. The walls of Azamo Bay will not keep these invaders out. They are not pirates or bandits from the bad old days. They are worse. They have massive weapons that cause fire to rain from the sky. We cannot hope to oppose them. Flee north to the foothills. The next record is called Skills for Trade. Hotoke, tell your husband the Mongols are not what we feared. After we let them into town, They lined us up and asked what we could offer them, but it wasn't food or clothing they desired. It was our skills. Weaponsmiths, armorers, and carpenters were treated with kindness, even leather workers. What surprised me most was that the kindness seemed genuine, but those with no skill to offer were nothing more than dogs. No, even that's not right. They treat their own dogs with kindness as well. You are lucky Genzo is a stone cutter. Make sure the invaders know. The next one is called Stolen Memories. Emotaro and his family burned in the Sunset Gate fire. Genzo taken to the ships. Dogo burned alive for stealing food. Shinsuke collapsed while cutting trees. Momiji disappeared before the hour of the dog. Little One Eye disappeared. Found one sandal by the herb seller's house. The next record is called The Black Sands. Black sand under my feet, black sand underfoot, retaining the warmth of cool sand underfoot, remembering the warm sun. I miss your warm ember, damn it. I'm not sure I get the humor. It sounds like it's supposed to be humorous. It's a bit lost on me. The next record is to Genzo in Komatsu Forge. Never thought the forge could be so quiet. Ever since I was a child, the sounds of the forge never woke me. I felt safe, protected. Now I can't sleep anymore. Not sure I'll know rest until the shouting and war horns are gone. Until the sounds of the forge return. The next record is called First Meeting. Brother, leave Komatsu Forge. The western invaders burn everything to the ground, put many to the sword, and take skilled laborers as slaves. They will come for you there, and your way with metal and stone will guarantee captivity. If you can, make haste to Castle Kanada. There are rumors it is still in the Jito's hands. I'm taking my family there as soon as I can. The next record, To My Love. I'm so grateful you weren't here when they came. At first it was just a ship or two, far off. We thought they were merchants from Goryeo. Then as we saw more, pirates. But then thousands of them appeared and stopped right off the shore, like silent Oni, watching us from the waves. I've never known fear so strong I could taste it. I hope you're safe and that I'll feel your embrace again one day. The next record is What Happened in Komoda. Day 1. Day is gone. Fires still go. Smoke. Can't find Toku. Day 3. Find stale rice ball this morning. Taste better than a pear from Shinano. Day 7. Smoke finally go away. Sun is shining. Maybe we live. Day 9. Thought sun would bring Toku out. No. But talk with survived person from Kashine. So maybe there is hope. Wish my writing better. Day. It doesn't matter what day it is. Found Toku today. Bury Toku by her favorite little waterfall. Now my turn, Toku. My Toku. Very sad. The next one is True Observations in Hiyoshi Springs. Every night I have the same dream. I bring food to Sensei Ishikawa's dojo, but he is not there. All I find is dried blood on the floor of his dojo. In the dream, somehow I know he has been killed by a yokai that lurks in the bamboo forest. I go into the forest to hunt the yokai, even though I know it's dangerous. There is a break in the trees, and suddenly I find myself at a waterfall in Hiyoshi Springs. But it runs red with blood. Then I wake up. The next record, Deliver to Sensei Ishikawa. Sensei Ishikawa, Lord Hirotsune Nagao urgently requests your presence in Komoda. I am instructed to give you my horse and all the supplies you require to make the journey immediately in defense of our lands. Please lay aside any concern for past misunderstandings, as his lordship assures you the archers of Clan Nagao recall their greatest exemplar with only the utmost fondness, respect, and devotion. Yasumasa Sasaki, Captain of the Right Guard of Lord Hirotsune Nagao. The next record is called Music Stories to Remember. I not learned the good writing, but some must writing down songs of the Biwa Hoshi. Very good stories, but he killed by invaders, then no more stories. Forget it by all. Long ago, there was bow-using man. He saved the town. Also another bow-using man who killed demons. And the man who is very fast with katana swings. So many others. Write more tomorrow. Now go deliver supplies to Jade Hills Camp. The next record, Hochi and the Warrior Monks. Mother. Today I met a group of monks from Cedar Temple. They are on the way to Akashima village to help our healers there. The one in charge is called Hochi, a famous healer in the north, but a strange man. A group of peasant fighters saved him from bandits, and this Hochi proceeded to lecture them on the sin of violence. At any rate, look for the monks' arrival, if they have not already reached you. Perhaps one of them can help Uncle's injuries. We are halfway to Kin. When we arrive safely at Sister's house, I'll send word. Ichiro. The next record, The Healers of Akashima. The monks of Cedar Temple asked me to carve wood blocks to distribute to teach people their healing lessons. I must not fail. For burns, apply egg white. For deep wounds of the blade, clean with vinegar. Make a poultice of hijiki and wrap with clean cloth. For injuries of bludgeoning, keep the injured area still. Wash with cool water. Acupuncture on the opposite side of the body for pain. If only they had reached us in time to save Father. But if I cannot save him, perhaps I can help save many others. The next record is called To Momiji in Akashima village. My love, If you find this, it means we have left. I am sorry. We waited as long as we could, but we must begin the journey to Umugi Cove now. It is difficult to find, and dangerous even in peacetime. But they say a group of smugglers there have found a way past the Mongol ships. We must take this chance. If you receive this before the new year, hurry to us. Next is healing lessons. We have entered the latter day of the law. Before the Mongols came, the people committed the gravest offenses with less concern than scratching an itch. But it has only become worse. Our mudras and mantras are useless. Our healing arts no longer cure illness. If anything, they are made worse by our ministrations. Now the monks have been taken. What is the point of prayer when we are doomed? Next record, the ritual of Nukabukuro. Please send your remaining stores of Nukabukuro with Jirotaro. He will ensure they are delivered to me. It's the one indulgence I've allowed myself. All food goes to the people of Toyotama, weapons to my men who protect them, but rice powder is for me. It may seem foolish to paint one's face in the midst of war, but there is a clarity in the ritual which grounds me. As long as part of life before the Mongols exists, there's hope that not all is lost. The next record, necessary for survival. By order of Lady Sanjo, there are new rules for all who use this storage space. Firstly, anyone caught stealing, borrowing, or otherwise touching merchandise that does not belong to you, your colleague or your direct employer will be executed. No exceptions. Secondly, anyone caught urinating, defecating, or spitting inside the storeroom will have a blade rammed through the offending body part, emitting said prohibited substances. Thirdly, Goro, if you're not too drunk to read this, I suggest you turn right around and walk out of here before someone catches you and executes you. No exceptions this time. Next is Outcasts. I can only pretend for so much longer. I am not like these people and never will be. The way they speak, the way they smell, the people they surround themselves with. I'm ashamed there is a place like this on Tsushima. I find myself wishing the Mongols would burn it to the ground. Next, to my brother. Brother, I will entrust this letter to a friend traveling to Yarikawa stronghold. Sister and her family are all in good health. Frightened, hungry, but here in kin, things are calm. Please make preparations to come to us. Don't let yourself be trapped behind those walls. You will be safer here in the north until the shogun's samurai arrive from the mainland to destroy the invaders. Next is report to steward Ujimasa. Sir, there are rumors the nephew of the Jito may approach you with an offer to join his uncle, who has somehow pushed the Mongols out of Castle Canada. I advise you not to make any rash decisions one way or the other. Your stronghold will not fall. The longer you hold out, the more leverage you have to make a deal with the eventual victor, whether that be the Jito or the Khan. The best possible outcome may be to wait until both sides weaken each other. Then you move to bring all of Toyotama, and perhaps even Tsushima itself, under your control. Please consider all of these options. Your faithful servant, Kiyochika Yarikawa. The next record is called Rationing in Yarikawa Stronghold. By order of Ujimasa, steward of Yarikawa Stronghold, strict rationing is to be maintained at all times. Anyone caught stealing food, taking more than their apportionment, or falsely claiming excess dependence, must be jailed immediately. Repeat offenders may be executed. I know this is harsh, but we cannot afford to be lenient as long as the Mongol siege continues. The next record, Deaf Ears. Lord Sakai instructed us to leave the village, to take refuge at Omi Monastery, but the gates are shut and no one will answer our calls. It's as if the place is abandoned, but at night I hear whispers over the walls, prayers, the monks begging the gods to protect them from the Mongols. But if the gods won't protect them, what chance do we have? The next record, Come Home. Kame, bring my granddaughter and meet me at Akashima. Leave that man. He has always been cruel, a snake. The Adachi woman saw that. The war is no threat compared to him. You will be safer braving roads filled with Mongols than continuing to sleep under his roof. I will look for you in 2 days' time. The next record is Remembrance. Near the lake blossoms, where cherry pink or late white, my love waits for you. For Kazumasa. The next record is called Cry for Help. With my last carrier pigeon, I pray this note finds pitying eyes and ears. Please send help to kin. At first we thought it was a terrible plague, but the invaders were unharmed. I don't remember who first figured it out. Poison. The invaders have poisoned us. Mounds of the dead blacken in the sun. I doubt I will see another week of life, but I can hear a baby crying. I don't dare go out. Please, someone help us. The next record, Farewell. At first I thought I was dreaming. I've often found myself waking in the morning, far from my bed without any idea how I got there. So when I woke to see the sacred Yorishiro tree in flames, I thought it was a nightmare. But it's real. The entire forest is burning. There is nowhere to run. This too will burn in the fire, and so I write my final wish. I loved you all my life, Derute, but I could never work up the courage to tell you. Perhaps the wind will carry these ashes to you, or you will hear my final wish whispered to you in the tall grass. Only 3 more to go. The next one is called Lady Hana. Lady Hana hasn't left the main house in weeks. Mysterious visitors come and go. Some stay for hours, others for days. never together. I recognized one as a monk, another looked to be no more than a peasant girl. Lady Hana is consumed with them. She does not let me inside other than to bring tea and rice, but when I do, I almost always hear the whisper of her sister's name. The second to last record, called Watch Her. I am leaving for Komoda. Keep an eye on Lady Hana while I'm gone. The miserable woman does nothing but brood and stew in dark corners of the house. She is almost completely useless, except as a place of warmth. But for that I have to be drunk, which reminds me, stock more sake for my return. I will be back in a matter of days. Komoda should not take long. And the last record, The Dye House. Dye with D-Y-E, just for the record, no pun intended. Sister, the headman has requested I come to the dye house. Instead I will come to you. There is a silence there I find dangerous. It used to be a place of joy, people surrounded in brilliant blue, but now only wooden boxes come and go. Once I thought I heard the great scream. I'll get to you as quick as I can. Okay. That was it for the records and for this video. As always, thank you very much for watching and for listening. And I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.